Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Yeah.
Today we have two very special people with us from YMCA Chief Hector, and they're going to be telling us a little bit about some incredible opportunities working in the kitchen this summer. We have Patrick, the kitchen director, and Ethan's actually an Australian who worked during the summer and stuck around to work in the kitchen. So he's been both a counselor and a kitchen staff member. So before I just hand it over to you, Patrick, I want to say thank you. You've hosted a lot of our participants over the years, and they've all come back home saying incredible things about working for you. So thank you for giving them such a great experience. Can you tell me just a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with Chief Hector?
Yeah, I did start at Camp Chief Hector YMCA in 2019. My background is a little bit different. I was executive chef in Germany, Switzerland, and Italy. Also, almost food was my passion, and it led me to Canada in 2008. So I'm since 2008 now live in Canada, and as I find a job here with YMCA Camp Chief Hector, I just found my passion about bringing fantastic food to the children and healthy food, nutritious, fun food, interesting food to the children. And that's my passion right now. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Patrick. And Ethan, you're from Australia. Can you
Yeah,
just share a little bit about your experience, how it's been?
yeah. So I flew over here in April. I got here April 21st for the start of the spring season as a counsellor, and I worked all spring. My contract was originally to the end of summer, so I was always staying for the summer. I had a bit of an injury, my ankle. I tore 3 ligaments in my ankle, so that put me out of counselling for a little bit. So I ended up working at higher ground in a few other areas of camp and got to see a lot of how everything's run at Hector, at Camp Chief Hector, and then yeah, summer finished, and then I stayed around counselling for another month till September, and then I was going to leave, and then Patrick here convinced me to stay in the kitchen, so I worked in the kitchen for a month till October, with the option to keep going, and I loved it and absolutely thrived in it. I think so. I kept going and stayed here as long as I have. So
Yeah, very cool.
yeah.
And let's see, Patrick, I'm curious, like what you would say your favorite aspect of working at Chief Hector would be?
I think there are many of those, actually.
Yeah.
It's just not one. So I think like what we do here in the kitchen, like what people love, it's our wonderful work-life balance we have, after 8-hour shift and enjoy the facilities and activities around here. It's a very respectful workplace. Started with our managers, the auto school director, then Jana is a general manager. Those are wonderful people. They give us all the opportunities to create actually wonderful food. It's you learn free further education here always at the YMCA. So when you work in kitchen, for example, and you get a food certification, food allergen awareness course, a course about respectful workplaces, that's all for free. Then the CPR, first aid for sure. It's a very welcoming place here to work. So people are very open-minded, love different cultures, especially food. When you talk about what connect people all over the world from different nationalities, different countries, it's food, food, music, art, and we do food here. So, and we listen to a lot of music too. Yeah. So it's a wonderful place to talk about food and can be creative and bring great food to the children. Building communities, it's something, very good. Finding new peers, new friends, and what we really worked on those years and really is proper in place. It's our low stress level we have. Such amount of children we cook. We just had a statistic. Here we cooked over 70,000 meals in 2023, and this is with a good stress level and a high quality of food.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome. You don't always hear work-life balance as a pro of working at camp. I know it's tough to do with long hours, which that's one of the first things that struck me is your kitchen staff members only work 40 hours a week, which is pretty remarkable for the summer camp industry. A lot of camps work a lot more. which I'd love to ask you, Ethan. You've been a counselor and a kitchen staff member. Can you speak to someone that's considering working in the kitchen, debating, whether they want to be a counselor or a kitchen staff member? Could you talk about what the advantages of working in the kitchen are as opposed to a counselor?
Yeah, well, definitely. Personally, it goes both ways. Definitely, it definitely depends on the experience that you're after. And like Patrick said, being open-minded. Like I came here in April set on counseling, and that's what I wanted to do. Because I really enjoy working with kids and providing that experience for them to grow and learn and, entertainment, etc. But like you said, it's a demanding job. And I think it may have been you or someone, Alison, maybe perhaps, that told me that it'll probably be one of the toughest jobs I do. Not physically, but mentally and emotionally. And she was absolutely right. And I expected it to a degree. But, as a counselor, being with the kid 24 hours a day, nonstop for a week or 2 weeks, even here at Camp Chief Hector, on and off, it's with only an hour and a half break to yourself, or 24 hours if it's 2 weeks, it can be a lot. And if you're not taking care of yourself, then it catches up on you really quick. And to then jump, I suppose maybe I got away with it there, but in the kitchen, I suppose the advantage is that, that work-life balance of, I can start at 6 a.m. and finish at 2 and then have, that time to myself, which you don't realize how much you need until you've stopped counseling. I was counseling, and once you're in it, it's very easy to sort of get in that rhythm and understand that, okay, well, if I push myself for 4 or 5 days and I can go out and do whatever for the next 24 hours or 48 hours, but you don't realize how much of a rest you mentally you need to rest yourself and your soul, I guess. But and then once you're out, and in this kitchen, 40 hours a week, like you said, seems like it's remarkable numbers. So it's good.
Yeah, I would be curious. Do you feel like someone working in Patrick or Ethan, either of you can answer this, someone working in the kitchen would still get the whole camp experience and what it's like to have that, summer camp experience?
Yeah, I can speak on behalf 100%. I've made a lot of friends, some that are still here in the fall team, who are still counseling, and even after the fall, all the time that I'm off, on the weekends and things, for the staff members that hang around and stuff, it hasn't really changed much socially for me. It's just been more, learning new things in a different environment, which I've been keen on. So
yeah, very cool. Well, Patrick, could you quickly, I know probably every day is different, but could you maybe talk a little bit about an average day, what someone could expect if they were on your team?
Yeah, totally. So we have 2 shifts available. Sometimes people are early risers and say, I want to come early in and have the rest of the day. Some want to sleep longer, but we have 2 shifts available, and the one is from 6 a.m. till 2 p.m., 8 hours. It's barely that we work longer because we are so well organized. And then, so 6 a.m. till 2 p.m., or you can start at 12 p.m. till 8 p.m., which in the summer still daylight outside, and you can still do a couple of activities out here, especially because we are so close to provincial and national parks, hiking, skiing in the winter. It's just a beautiful place here in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. And those are the shifts available. Quality time off is important for, like I said, I can't mention it too many times. It's the work-life balance, and this is fantastic, having a good job, and then, yes, I'm done, and wow, you're in the middle of the provincial park here, the Rocky Mountains ahead, so go for a hike and go in the lake, go swimming, go horseback riding, join the ropes course. There's so many things you can do here.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, another thing that caught my attention was that you don't require people to have previous kitchen experience. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do look for in a potential staff member?
Yeah, we had that in the past too, because we have here strong coordinators, wonderful people, very kitchen experience, including myself. But we had last year in 2019, about almost half of the kitchen team never worked in kitchens before. Yeah. So we bring them slowly in, we learn them, teach them about fruits, about vegetables, meats, what is about food, and they can bring themselves into, it's like, I got an idea today, for example, you're baking
Anzac cookies.
Australian cookie.
Anzac biscuits. Well, I just butchered that.
Yeah. So people can be creative here and bring ideas in. Or last year, the Australians we had, and then saying like, hey, my mom is a baker. I have that recipe. Can I try it out? Yes, of course, you know. So you don't need necessarily a long year kitchen experience. You need a little bit, have a good spirit, have a good energy, be open-minded, good sense of humor. And then the rest we teach, you know. And people taking on responsibility, growing with us. Sometimes people never worked in the kitchen here. Now continuing working in other kitchens because they learned quite a lot here and had a lot of input. So there are all kinds of way, or stayed longer with us, or like Ethan, you know, never worked in kitchen, say, I like it so much. I want to stay longer till end of season. Say, yeah, sure. You know, there are all kinds of opportunity. Just be a fun, good person, and the rest we teach. Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's been fun catching up. So I'll just quickly mention, if you're watching this video and you'd love to work with Patrick at the Chief Hector Kitchen, just contact your local CCUSA office and let them know, and they'll get your application over on review. Just a couple of things to note. To work at Chief Hector, you do need the working holiday, and the 2024 quotas should be opening up in the next couple of weeks. So again, be in touch with your local country office and we'll walk you through that process and explain everything. But before we sign off, Patrick, Ethan, anything you'd want to say to anyone out there that's watching the video, and any final thoughts?
Yeah, 100%. I would say just like, and sort of from the questions that we've had a look at, I just had a good think about, like, if I was on the other end of this watching what I'd hope someone would say.
Yeah.
And the fact is that like working at a camp, and I can speak like on behalf of Camp Chief Hector, like I touched on before, it can be very mentally straining. So just preparing yourself and being open-minded to the fact that the hours, yeah, will be long. But if you give yourself to the experience of like what you've come here for, and forget about the money and forget about the pressure of, like, you know, having to see everything in the short time that you're here, forget it, because the experience completely changes once you get here. Like I said, I was only supposed to be here till summer, and then I was going to travel. I ended up staying an extra 4 or 5 months, and would not regret it ever, because that's the experience that it's been for me. The scenery here also is like off in rocket. It's like the first day I got here, I'm staring at the mountains, and like every day still, you know, I'm driving out to Canmore and still get the shock of my life where I am at the foot of the Rocky. And
to see it change too, probably. You've seen it all now. You've seen pretty much every season, right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing I can sort of happily say in myself is I know that I can walk away here, you know, in a couple of weeks and feel like I haven't left anything in the tank here as far as this experience has gone for me, because despite my injury, I still managed to do a lot of different areas of camp. So and don't have expectations too high. Like it's I know it's hard coming to here overseas, and you have these big expectations for yourself for what you want to do and see, and but like, again, I said, it changes. Everything changes. The people you meet, like injuries, it'll all change. So yeah, don't stress. Just have an open mind.
Yeah. I would say a great advantage to be here is also, especially when you are in a new country in the first time. Myself, I moved in 3 different countries, and you know, the welcoming part is it's wonderful. And you got here, the accommodations are right here at the camp, so close to the kitchen, so you can walk. You don't need a car. We offer free food and accommodation, which is really unique. So it means that money you get is actually your money. This is wonderful. So you can even save up a little bit money and have a wonderful environment to join here in the beautiful Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys. It's been chatting, and I'll be excited to see who we get for you for next summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Take care.
Yeah.